The great thing is everything on the internet leaves a trail. Success on the internet leaves a trail. You'll get people on Instagram saying, oh, we went from overnight, we went from £10,000 a week to £20,000 in a day. And it's like, it don't work that way.
Profit Pilot.
Oh, I'm back. So, progressing down the videos of how to grow an e-commerce business. And we've covered the basics. I'm covering everything at a very high level at the minute. And what I'll do is on some of these topics, I'll dive deeper in and I'll do some to-do guides. At the minute, I just want to get the basics down. So let's say you've decided that you want to start an online business. One of the most important things to do is to choose the right product niche. So, I mean, I've done this before when I was younger. You get offered sweat equity in a business you don't really care about, a product you got no passion about or anything like that. And when times get tough, you know, when you're spending money and there's no money coming back, you haven't got that passion to push forward, and that's what you need. So whatever you do in terms of e-commerce or business, you've got to have a passion for it. I love e-commerce. I always have done. I've always liked data. I've always liked turning data into insights. So I love it. I love what I do, and that's because I have a passion. I would have been a mediocre at best accountant, or I originally trained up as a lawyer. I would have been a mediocre lawyer because I just didn't believe in the system. I didn't believe in things. But I believe in e-commerce and I believe in connecting people through digital. So anyway, you've got to have a passion. You've got to have a passion for whatever it is you do. You've got to take the pragmatic approach as well. So you've got to research your market. So the great thing is everything on the internet leaves a trail. Success on the internet leaves a trail. If you want to start, I used to do SEO, which is getting websites up in Google, search engines. And like success leaves footprints, very visible footprints. You know, when you see these trackers in the bush and they're tracking the animals and they're seeing little clues on the branches and footprints and stuff, exactly the same. Everything online leaves digital footprints. I'll dive in another video a bit deeper at Google Trends. You can use Amazon reviews because look at Amazon. Amazon just gets all the traffic, so you can start to work out market appeal. Based on that, you can start to look at reviews to try and get an idea about where you can outperform and where the points of parity. Points of parity is like share elements of value, and then you've got your USP, or points of difference, which are more unique to yourself. So that's where your sweet spots are. And then another massively important thing is the biggest obstacle in e-commerce is the cost it takes to acquire a customer. So what you'll do is you'll get people on Instagram saying, oh yeah, I've 10x someone's business, and oh, we went from overnight, we went from £10,000 a week to £20,000 in a day. And it's like, it don't work that way, especially with stuff like Meta, because it ads go into like a learning mode. So anyway, it just doesn't work that way. And the most prohibitive thing in e-commerce that kills e-commerce business is the cost to acquire a customer. And that's because advertising is so expensive. There's so much competition out there. And it's not just a case of buying traffic. Any idiot could buy traffic. It's just throwing money at something. And Google has got systems where it tries to provide value as opposed to just taking people's money. I mean, it's very good at extracting people's money. I'll go into COGS, profit margins at some point. The most ideal things to sell on the internet are stuff which is small, very durable, because it's not going to break in the post. It's cheaper to post because your postage is a big expense as well, and something with a high profit margin. So yeah, and also you got to have a look around at the competition as well. So if you're a marathon runner, it's going to be easier to compete with other competitors in their 50s and 60s than they are in their 20s. And it's exactly the same with e-commerce. It's an ecosystem, and only the strongest survive. So yeah, you've got to get something which you've got a passion for, a true passion for. You've got to do your market research. You can use third party, and I can show you some tools where you can research your market. You've got to have decent profit margins, because depending on your model, where you've got a certain cost per acquisition, but you know they've got a lifetime customer value. But that's more when you're more established. You've got to know that every customer you buy, you're buying a break even or a profit. And also, it's never good to compete on price because that's just a race to the bottom. It's best to compete on value. Again, we'll go into that in more detail. But yeah, they're the things you've got to look for. Passion, make sure there's enough demand for what you're doing. Make sure there's enough profit margin in your products and making sure that you're available to compete.